The human said you want war. Then see your worlds reduced to cinders. Best HFY Stories HFY. The planet Arvesa was quiet that morning. Light purple clouds floated across the sky, and the twin suns shone down on the scattered outposts of human explorers. Most of the world was untouched, with wide green plains and sharp mountains. The humans who lived here had come to study the planet, learn about its life, and see if it could be a home for more people one day. Among them were scientists, engineers, security officers, and a small group of families. Dr. Claire Morgan walked through the central outpost building, carrying her tablet. Her brown hair was tied back, and her face showed the lines of long work and worry. She stopped at one of the labs and checked the latest readings from the children's area. The young ones, 10, 11, and 12 years old, were playing near a small garden. Claire smiled softly. Life on Arvesa was hard, but moments like this made it feel worth it. "Morning, Doctor." "Morgan," said Jake Harris, the security officer, as he came around the corner. He was tall and strong with a calm expression. He carried a small datapad in his hands. "The sensors are all normal. No signs of trouble near the perimeter," Claire nodded. "Good, keep it that way." "I want the children safe," Jake shrugged lightly. "We all do, but you know how quiet it is here. Too quiet can be dangerous." They both looked toward the garden. Lily Carter, a 12-year-old girl with bright eyes, was teaching her younger brother Ben to balance on the edge of a small fountain. The children laughed, their voices clear and innocent in the quiet morning. Claire felt a small wave of relief. Suddenly, a shadow fell over the outpost. Claire's stomach tightened. She looked up and saw shapes moving in the sky, large and alien. The ships were unlike anything humans had ever built, sleek, dark, and almost alive, with strange patterns that seemed to pulse. Jake ran toward the command center. "Sensors, alert the team." Claire grabbed her tablet and ran, but it was too late. The ships landed with a heavy, echoing thud. The ground shook beneath her feet. The humans outside screamed and ran for cover. The aliens moved quickly, stepping out of their ships. They were tall and thin, with grayish skin and eyes that glowed faintly green. Their movements were sharp and precise. One of the aliens raised its hand, and a wave of energy pushed the humans to the ground. The children screamed, and Claire ran toward them. She saw the alien leader, a tall figure with many symbols carved into its armor, step forward. "Stay back," Claire shouted. "These are children. You cannot touch them." The alien spoke, but not in words humans could understand. Its voice was strange, like a sound inside the mind rather than the ears. Claire felt a sharp pain in her head as it transmitted its meaning. "Children are specimens. They are harmless. They will be studied." "No," Claire cried. "You can't. They're human children." "Do you even understand what you are doing?" Jake tried to fight, but the alien's energy shield stopped him. The aliens moved fast, capturing the children in transparent containers. Lily screamed and reached for Ben, but the alien lifted her into the air and placed her gently inside the container. Ben struggled, crying, but another alien took him. Claire's heart sank. "This is wrong," she yelled. She grabbed a small communicator and sent an emergency signal. "Distress, human children captured. Request immediate help." The aliens finished their task and began to leave. Claire and Jake were left on the ground, exhausted and furious. They had seen many dangerous things before, but nothing like this. Nothing that took human children. Claire looked at the empty garden where laughter had just been. Tears filled her eyes. "They don't understand us," she whispered. "They don't understand what we protect, what we love." Jake sat beside her, shaking his head. "We'll get them back. We have to." Humans don't leave their children behind. The aliens' ships lifted off, their shadows disappearing into the sky. Claire and Jake ran to the command center to start gathering information. They had to know where the aliens were taking the children. The communicator crackled and a voice came through. It was faint, but it was human, Captain Ethan Cole of the Terran fleet. "This is Captain Cole. We received your distress signal. Tell me what happened," the voice said. Claire swallowed hard, trying to calm herself. Captain, the Karth Dominion, aliens from the Outer Rim, they attacked our outpost. They took our children, Lily and Ben Carter, along with several others. They see them as specimens. We need immediate assistance. They won't understand anything else. Cole's voice was steady, but she could hear the tension. We're mobilizing. Stay safe. Keep monitoring. Do not engage unless it's absolutely necessary. Claire nodded, though she felt helpless. She watched the screens, tracking the last known positions of the alien ships. They moved fast, but the sensors could follow them. Jake, she said, we have to know where they are taking the children. We can't lose them in the void. Jake tapped the console, pulling up a rough map of the region. If they follow their usual patterns, they're heading toward the Phronix cluster. It's heavily shielded and few humans have gone near it, but we can follow. At least we can know where they are. Claire took a deep breath. We have to prepare. Even if we can't reach them in time, we need to send this information to the fleet. Every minute counts. While they worked, the children inside the alien containers were frightened but defiant. Lily looked at her younger brother, Ben, and whispered, "Don't cry." "We have to be brave." "But I'm scared," Ben said, tears running down his face. "I know," Lily replied, "but we can't give them that power over us. We're humans, we protect each other." The alien observers were confused. The children didn't behave like the other species they had studied. They didn't panic completely. They resisted in small ways, through gestures, through emotion, through connection to one another. It was fascinating and disturbing at the same time. One of the alien scientists, Zalthar, spoke to the leader. "Why do they not submit fully? They are small and weak." The leader responded with a mental projection of authority. "They are specimens. Their weakness is not important. They will comply." Zalthar studied the children again, tilting its head. The defiance in their eyes was something the aliens could not comprehend. Something about humans was not logical. Back on the outpost, Claire and Jake finished their preparations. They packed emergency supplies and secured the station's data, making sure nothing fell into the wrong hands. Claire stared at the sky, knowing the children were now far away, in a world she did not know. "They'll learn soon enough," Jake said, breaking the silence. "Humans are not just clever or strong. We fight for what matters, and nothing matters more than our children." Claire nodded, feeling a small spark of hope. The fleet was coming. Captain Cole would not let this go. Humans were nothing if not persistent, and the aliens had just made a mistake that would echo far beyond this morning. In the alien ships, the children continued to hold on to each other. Lily kept talking to Ben, reminding him of home, of their parents, and of the humans who would come for them. Every time the aliens tried to examine or isolate them, the children resisted in small, clever ways, sliding objects, whispering codes, making gestures. Their courage grew in the aliens' presence, and with every moment, the aliens began to sense that humans were far more than fragile little creatures. Claire sent one last message before the alien convoy disappeared from Arvesa's atmosphere. "Hold on. Humans will come for you. We will not fail." And then, as the sun dipped low over the mountains, the outpost was silent again. But it was not defeated. Somewhere beyond the stars, the Terran fleet was on its way, and the children's bravery had already started to teach the aliens a lesson they would never forget. The message from Arvesa had reached the Terran fleet in the core system within hours. Captain Ethan Cole sat in the bridge of the flagship, staring at the holographic screen that showed the outpost's distress signal. His face was calm, but his mind raced. He had faced threats before, but nothing like this. Nothing that took human children. Admiral Nora Bennett, the head of the Terran Council, joined him. She was older, with gray-streaked hair, and her eyes were sharp and steady. She looked at the report, then back at Ethan. "Captain, we have confirmation. The Karth Dominion has taken human children. Several of them. They believe the children are specimens, not people." Ethan clenched his jaw. "They've crossed a line they do not understand. They have no idea what they've done. Nora nodded. This is not just about one outpost. It is about every human settlement on the frontier. If the Dominion believes they can take children without consequences, they will try it again. Ethan tapped the console. We can't wait. We have to move now. The children are in danger. Nora hesitated. We need to consider diplomacy. The Karth have technology far beyond our frontier fleets. A direct attack could be costly. Ethan shook his head. Admiral, they are not thinking in terms of diplomacy. They think in terms of study and logic. They do not understand human bonds. This is not negotiable. Nora studied him for a moment, then nodded slowly. Very well, mobilize the fleet, but I want a plan, non-lethal if possible. We cannot risk the children. Yes, ma'am, Ethan said, turning back to the bridge crew. He activated the fleet alert. Ships began to power up, engines humming, weapons systems coming online. Human engineers and Marines worked with speed and precision. Every second counted. Meanwhile, news of the kidnapping had spread through the human networks. Millions of people watched the video recordings from the outpost before it went dark. Children in alien cages, frightened and crying, stirred anger and fear across human space. Civilians demanded action. Governments received thousands of messages every hour, all asking the same thing: bring them home. In one of the communication centers, Maya Brooks, a young officer, was typing messages back to different stations. Her fingers flew over the keyboard as she relayed updates from the fleet and reassured frightened families. She looked at the monitor, seeing images of Lily and Ben and the other children. Her eyes filled with tears. They are just children, she whispered to herself. We cannot fail them. On the fleet, Ethan called a meeting with his senior officers. Kyle Ramirez, the Marine squad leader, leaned over the table pointing at the star map. Captain, if we want to board the Karth station, we need to know the layout. Their ships are fast but predictable. We can intercept near the Phronix cluster, but we need precise timing. Ethan nodded. We don't have time to plan for every possibility. We rely on skill and speed. Keep the children in mind. Our priority is them, not their vessels. Doctor. Claire Morgan, still shaken from the attack, joined the meeting via secure link. Captain, the Karth will try to isolate the children. They won't understand teamwork or loyalty. But the children are clever. If you give them a chance, they will find ways to resist. Ethan leaned back. That is good to hear. It means the children are not helpless, but we must reach them before the Dominion realizes what we are doing. Meanwhile, the Karth Dominion's research station moved through space, carrying the human children. High Researcher Zalthar monitored the containers, noting the children's reactions. Lily and Ben were holding hands, whispering to each other. The other children had started forming small groups, comforting one another. Zalthar frowned. Why do they not comply fully? The leader of the station responded with a mental projection of authority. They are specimens, weak and small. Their behavior is illogical. But Zalthar could not understand why the children were resisting in ways the aliens could not control. Every attempt to isolate them, to frighten them, failed. The children's loyalty and courage were like a shield the aliens could not penetrate. Back on the Terran fleet, preparations continued. Ships launched reconnaissance drones to track the alien convoy. The crew trained in boarding maneuvers, practicing non-lethal tactics to subdue the aliens without harming the children. Ethan walked the corridors, speaking to Marines. Remember, he said firmly, these are children. They are human. Every action you take must protect them. Nothing else matters. We fight for them and only for them. Kyle Ramirez nodded. Understood, Captain. We won't fail. The public reaction on Earth and other core worlds was intense. Citizens organized peaceful protests outside government buildings, holding signs that read "Bring the children home" and "No human left behind." News channels broadcast the story repeatedly, emphasizing the innocence of the children and the cruelty of the aliens. People from all walks of life felt a deep connection to the kidnapped children, and that connection created a wave of unity across human civilization. Even the media from other species picked up the story. The humans' willingness to act for their children was noticed by every civilization that had contact with Terrans. Many were impressed, some confused, and a few wary of what humans might do when pushed to the edge. Ethan watched the monitors from his cabin, reading messages from families and citizens. He felt a weight on his shoulders but also a deep determination. They will come home, he thought. We will not fail them. Back on the frontier, Dr. Claire Morgan and Jake Harris worked tirelessly. They calculated the Karth convoy's route and sent updates to the fleet. Claire could only hope that the children's bravery and intelligence would give them an edge. She thought about Lily and Ben, about how small hands could reach through fear and touch courage. Jake looked at her. They're humans, Claire. That's all you need to know. They will survive, and we'll get them back. As the fleet moved closer to the Phronix cluster, the alien convoy seemed unaware of the approaching human ships. They continued their study of the children, believing no one could follow them this far. The aliens underestimated not only human speed but human determination. Ethan studied the star map again. We strike at the edge of their sensor range, he said. We disable their defenses without risking the children. Then we board, secure the kids, and leave before they can react. Kyle Ramirez frowned. They will resist us, Captain. The Karth are clever and they will not give up without a fight. Ethan's eyes hardened. We fight if we must, but our first weapons are courage, teamwork, and intelligence. That is how humans win. The Karth do not understand that, and it will be their mistake. On the Karth station, the children continued to resist quietly. Lily had discovered a small way to interfere with the containment fields, slipping objects and causing minor malfunctions. Ben and the others copied her, each doing small tasks to make life harder for the aliens. Every small act of defiance brought hope, and hope was powerful. Zalthar noticed the changes. They are not like any other species we have studied. Their emotions are strong, they will unbreakable. They grow stronger when threatened. The Karth leader frowned. They are children. They should be weak. Their resistance is illogical. Zalthar said nothing, but a question lingered in the air. Are humans stronger than we thought? Back on the Terran fleet, Ethan made the final preparations. The boarding teams were ready, the strategy in place. He walked through the corridors of his ship, looking at the faces of the Marines, the engineers, and the pilots. Each one knew the stakes. Each one understood why humans would fight. Maya Brooks entered the room, holding another data tablet. Captain, we have live updates. The children are still conscious, still together. They are acting as you predicted. They are resisting in ways that are confusing the aliens. Ethan smiled slightly. Good. That gives us an advantage. Human courage is a weapon they cannot measure. Remember, they are small, but they are not powerless, and neither are we. The fleet moved closer to the Phronix cluster. The alien convoy's shields glowed faintly as they passed through space debris. The children inside the containers looked out at the stars, dreaming of home, feeling something they could not name but knew deeply: hope. Ethan watched from the bridge. Hold steady, he said. The moment we strike, we do it together. We fight for the children and nothing else. That is how humans survive, and how humans win. And as the human fleet moved silently through the void, the children's bravery echoed across the stars. They did not know it yet, but their courage had already begun to teach the aliens a lesson. A lesson the Karth Dominion would never forget. The stage was set for the first confrontation. Humans were not merely clever or strong. They were united, and their strength came from love, loyalty, and the courage to protect those who could not defend themselves. No matter the technology, no matter the numbers, no matter the threat, humans would fight for their children. And in the cold, dark reaches of space, that truth shone brighter than any star. The Terran fleet moved silently through the dark reaches of space. The Karth Dominion convoy was ahead, carrying the human children toward the Phronix cluster. Captain Ethan Cole stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the holographic display of the alien ships. Every heartbeat felt heavy, every second long. This mission was unlike any other. The goal was clear: bring the children home, nothing else mattered. "Captain," Kyle Ramirez said, stepping forward, "the convoy is entering a narrow pass between asteroid fields. Their shields will be weaker there. It's the perfect chance to intercept without risking the children." Ethan nodded. "Good, prepare the boarding teams. Remember, we do not destroy the station. We disable defenses, secure the children, and leave. Non-lethal first, lethal only if necessary. Doctor." Claire Morgan appeared on the bridge via SecureLink, her face tense but determined. "Captain, I have data from the outpost. I know how the Karth contain the children. Their systems are strong but not perfect. If you can get inside, the children will help. They already know small ways to weaken the containment fields." Ethan smiled faintly. "That is good news. Humans can be clever even in the hardest situations. Prepare your instructions, Claire. We may need to guide them remotely once we board." The fleet edged closer. Each Terran ship moved carefully, sensors active, scanning for Karth defenses. The alien vessels glowed faintly, their shields pulsing as if alive. They were confident, unaware of the humans following them through the dangerous asteroid pass. Inside the Karth station, the children huddled together. Lily whispered to Ben, "We have to stay calm, don't let them scare us. Remember what Dr. Morgan said, look for ways to help." Ben nodded, wiping tears from his face. "I'm scared." "I know," Lily replied. "But fear won't help. We have to be smart." The aliens watched them carefully, trying to understand why the children were resisting. Every attempt to intimidate them failed. The children's small acts of defiance, slipping objects in the wrong places, holding hands, whispering messages, confused the Karth. They had never seen species so small yet so united. High Researcher Zalthar frowned. "They are unpredictable. Their emotions are strong. They grow stronger when threatened. This is illogical." The alien leader projected authority. "They are children. Their resistance is meaningless." But Zalthar could not shake a sense of unease. "Humans are dangerous in ways we cannot measure." Back on the Terran ships, Ethan gave the final orders. "All teams prepare for boarding. Kyle, you lead the main squad. Keep the children safe at all costs. Maya, you stay with communications and guide Claire's instructions to the children. Everyone else be ready to provide support. Move carefully, strike precisely, and act together." Kyle Ramirez saluted. "Understood, Captain. We'll get them home." The first Terran ship detached from the fleet and moved forward, silent engines carrying the Marines toward the Karth station. The asteroid field loomed ahead, sharp rocks floating in the void. Sensors picked up small Karth patrol drones, but the Terrans moved quickly, avoiding detection. Inside the station, Lily noticed a small flicker in the containment system. A panel had loosened slightly. "Ben," she whispered, "see that wire? If we pull it just a little, maybe we can stop the doors from locking completely." Ben hesitated, then carefully tugged the wire. A soft click echoed through the container. The doors were less secure now. The other children noticed and began to try small things, moving objects, pressing buttons in patterns the aliens didn't expect. Every small action created tiny malfunctions in the containment fields. Zalthar noticed the changes immediately. "The children are interfering with the systems. Their intelligence is remarkable." The Karth leader frowned. "They are only children. They cannot be capable of such actions." But Zalthar could not argue. The systems were failing, slowly but surely. "This is illogical." Outside, the Terran boarding teams approached the station. Ethan watched from the flagship, heart steady but mind alert. "All squads go, keep it precise. The children's lives are in our hands." Kyle led the main team through a side entrance, cutting quietly through the station's outer defenses. Human technology was precise, efficient, designed to disable systems without harm. Each Marine moved with practiced skill, taking care to avoid areas where the children were held. Inside the station, the first alarms went off. The Karth noticed the intrusion, but the Terrans moved faster than expected. They avoided lethal force, using energy nets and disruptor pulses to disable alien guards temporarily. Every step brought them closer to the children. Lily and Ben watched as the lights flickered. "Something is happening," Lily whispered. "The aliens are distracted. Maybe help has arrived." She guided the other children to the small weaknesses they had discovered in the containment systems. Together, they slipped objects into panels, pressed buttons in sequence, and slowly, quietly, unlocked the doors. Zalthar observed, stunned. They are doing it themselves, without assistance. Their intelligence, it grows stronger under pressure. The Karth leader projected anger. "Stop them. They are only children." But the Terran Marines reached the containers before the Karth could respond fully. Kyle Ramirez worked quickly, opening the doors and guiding the children out. "Come on, stay calm, we've got you." The children ran toward safety, holding hands, moving together. Lily led Ben and the others, whispering encouragements, keeping everyone together. Zalthar realized that humans were not just clever, they were brave, coordinated, and filled with determination. They risk everything for their own. That is dangerous. The Karth attempted to regain control, but it was too late. The Terran teams moved with precision, disabling the containment fields and securing the children. Every action was careful, every movement designed to protect life. Ethan watched the operation from the flagship. Sweat dripped down his forehead, but he did not flinch. "Keep going," he said. "Every child counts. Do not slow down." Claire Morgan guided the children remotely. "Lily, Ben, move to the left corridor. Kyle's team will meet you there. Do exactly as I say." The children followed, trusting her instructions. Every small success made them braver. Every step brought them closer to freedom. Zalthar tried to respond. "Stop them. They are not strong." But the Karth leader was silent now. The humans were beyond his understanding. These children, together with the Marines, were unstoppable in ways he could not measure. Inside the station, the Terran teams moved quickly, using careful tactics to avoid unnecessary conflict. When a Karth guard tried to block the way, a Marine used a disruptor pulse to knock the alien unconscious, avoiding harm. Each step was calculated, precise, humane. Lily and Ben ran into the arms of Kyle and his team. Relief and joy mixed with fear, but the children were safe. Others followed, guided by Claire's voice and the Terran Marines. Ethan could see the children being evacuated through the transport corridors. "All squads return to extraction points," he ordered. "We have them. Now leave before they can react." The Karth attempted to strike back, but it was too late. The Terrans had disabled the main systems, and the children were already in the transport shuttles. The aliens could only watch as their experiment. The human children escaped, protected by a species they had underestimated. Zalthar's thoughts were troubled. "We studied them. We observed them, yet we could not control them. This is illogical." The Karth leader's projection was filled with frustration. Humans, they are not like the others. Outside the station, the Terran shuttles moved toward the fleet, carrying the children. Ethan felt a rush of relief but did not relax. "Everyone, stay alert. We are not out of danger yet. Keep shields up, stay ready for pursuit." Lily sat beside Ben in the shuttle, holding his hand tightly. "We did it," she whispered. "We're safe, we're going home." Ben smiled weakly, still trembling. "Thanks to you. Thanks to all of us," Lily said. "Humans protect each other, that's what we do." The Karth watched silently as the shuttles disappeared toward the fleet. Their calculations, their confidence, their control, all meaningless in the face of human courage, intelligence, and unity. Zalthar could only record the events. Humans are dangerous. Not because of weapons, but because of what they protect. Ethan Cole watched the fleet as it regrouped. The children were safe, and the alien station was neutralized, not destroyed but disabled. Every action had been careful, humane, precise. Humans had won without unnecessary violence, showing their strength through intelligence, planning, and care for others. He exhaled slowly. They're safe, all of them. Kyle Ramirez looked around at his team. Captain, we did it. Every child is accounted for. We brought them home. Ethan nodded. Yes, and the Karth learned something today. Humans are not weak. They fight for what matters and they protect their own at any cost. That is how humans survive. That is how humans win. The children looked out the shuttle windows at the stars, dreaming of home. They were small, but their courage had changed the Karth forever. They had survived, resisted, and taught a lesson no alien could ignore. And in the dark reaches of space, the humans' unity, bravery, and love shone brighter than any weapon or star. The Terran fleet returned to safe space, carrying the rescued children. Shuttles moved carefully, keeping shields up, as the children looked out at the stars. Some were crying quietly, some were smiling, but all were alive. Every heart on the ships felt relief. The danger was over, but the story was far from finished. Captain Ethan Cole watched from the bridge of the flagship. His eyes were tired but steady. The children were safe, and the Karth station was neutralized. But he knew the real challenge was just beginning. How would the Dominion respond? How would humans ensure this never happened again? Dr. Claire Morgan walked among the children as they settled into the medical bay. She knelt beside Lily and Ben Carter, checking that they were unharmed. "You did very well," she said softly. "You were brave and you helped each other. That is what kept you safe." Lily looked up, her face pale but determined. "We couldn't let them scare us. We had to be strong, and we had to trust that people would come for us." Ben nodded. "I knew they wouldn't leave us. Humans never leave their children." Claire smiled and patted them on the shoulder. "That's right, and that is why humans are different. We protect what matters most, no matter the danger." Meanwhile, the Karth Dominion had retreated. Their station was disabled, and the human fleet had left without unnecessary violence. High Researcher Zalthar recorded his observations, conflicted and unsettled. Humans are unpredictable. They act with intelligence and emotion. They are dangerous not because of technology, but because of what they protect. The Karth leader projected a message of formal acknowledgement. Humans, their unity and courage cannot be measured. They protect what is theirs. The experiment has failed. Back on the flagship, Admiral Nora Bennett spoke to Captain Cole via video link. "Ethan, congratulations. The children are safe, but the Karth will need to respond. Diplomacy must follow." Ethan nodded. "I understand, Admiral. The fleet will remain on standby. We will escort the children home and ensure the Karth understand that such actions have consequences." On Earth and the human core worlds, news of the rescue spread quickly. People cheered, and families held each other close. Children across the galaxy celebrated the bravery of Lily, Ben, and the others. Leaders issued statements recognizing the courage of the human fleet and the children themselves. In a diplomatic chamber, representatives of the Karth Dominion and the Terran Council met. The room was tense, filled with species from different worlds observing carefully. High Researcher Zalthar and the Karth leader stood across from Admiral Bennett and Captain Cole. Admiral Bennett spoke first. "The actions of the Karth Dominion were unacceptable. Human children are not specimens, they are people. They are sacred, and any attempt to harm or capture them will not be tolerated." The Karth leader bowed slightly. "We acknowledge our mistake. Humans are unlike any species we have studied. We will comply with your demands." Captain Cole added, "This is not just about punishment, it is about understanding. The Karth must learn that humans protect what matters most. We do not bluff. We act for each other, and you have seen the consequences of underestimating that." Zalthar spoke carefully. "We have learned. Human children are protected not only by family but by the entire species. Their bravery and intelligence are formidable." The Terran Council insisted on formal agreements. The Karth Dominion would recognize human social structures, the importance of family and children, and rules for contact between species to prevent similar incidents. The agreements were signed, creating a new understanding in interstellar relations. Back on the flagship, the children were finally able to relax. Lily and Ben sat together, looking out at the stars. They were quiet for a long time, thinking about the journey they had survived. Lily whispered, "Do you think they will remember us?" Ben shrugged. "I hope so. Maybe they'll understand that humans are not easy to control." Claire Morgan sat beside them. "They will remember, and you've taught them a lesson they will never forget. Your courage matters more than you know." The other children nodded, feeling proud but still exhausted. They had faced fear, captivity, and uncertainty, yet they had stayed together, stayed brave, and helped each other survive. Captain Cole addressed the children as well. "You did more than survive. You showed what humans are capable of. You showed courage, intelligence, and unity. That is the true strength of our species." Lily looked at him with wide eyes. "We were just trying to help each other." "That is exactly it," Cole replied. "Humans fight not for power but for what they love. That is why we succeed where others fail. Never forget that." The fleet returned to human space safely. Families reunited, children hugged parents, and communities celebrated. The story of Lily, Ben, and the other brave children spread across planets. Humans everywhere were reminded of their bonds, their courage, and their shared responsibility to protect the young. In the Karth Dominion, Zalthar and the leader continued to study humans. They are unpredictable. Their power lies not in weapons but in emotion and unity. We must respect that or face consequences again. Back on Earth, schools and families discussed the bravery of the children. Children were inspired to help each other, to stand strong in the face of challenges, and to understand that courage came in many forms, not just in strength, but in love and loyalty. Captain Cole and Admiral Bennett visited the children, speaking of their bravery and how it had changed interstellar relations. "Your courage has shaped history," Admiral Bennett told Lily and Ben. "The Karth have learned that humans protect their own. That lesson will last for generations." Lily and Ben looked at each other, realizing that even though they had been small and scared, they had made a difference. "We didn't feel powerful," Lily said quietly. "No," Cole replied, "but courage is not about feeling powerful. It is about doing what is right, protecting those who cannot protect themselves. That is the power humans have." Dr. Morgan looked at all the children. "You will remember this for the rest of your lives, and the galaxy will remember you too." Across the stars, humans celebrated, but they also reflected on the lesson they had demonstrated. Strength was not only in ships or weapons. It was in care, compassion, intelligence, and the will to protect one another. That was the human way, the reason humans thrived even among powerful species like the Karth. Zalthar's final report to the Karth Dominion read, "Humans are unlike any species we have studied. Their strength lies in their bonds, their loyalty, and their courage. Children are protected by the entire species. Underestimating humans is a mistake no one should repeat." The Karth leader projected a formal acknowledgement to the Terran Council. "We understand. Human children are not to be harmed. We respect your species and its bonds. Future relations will be guided by this understanding." Back on the flagship, Captain Cole watched the children as they laughed quietly among themselves. "We have done well," he said. "But remember this, our greatest power is not in our ships, our weapons, or our technology. Our greatest power is in our people, our families, and our courage to protect what matters most." Lily looked at the stars outside the window. "I think we'll never forget this," she said softly. "No," Ben replied, "and I think the Karth won't forget us either." Claire Morgan smiled. "You've shown the galaxy what it means to be human. That is something no alien can take away." The Terran fleet moved steadily through space, carrying the children home. The Karth Dominion had learned a lesson. one that would echo across civilizations. Humanity had shown that courage, intelligence, loyalty, and love were powers greater than any weapon. And in every home and every heart, humans remembered that bravery was not only about fighting, but about protecting, caring, and standing together. Lily held Ben's hand, looking out at the stars once more. "We're safe," she said. "Yes," Ben replied, "and we showed them. Humans always protect their own." Captain Cole looked at them, feeling pride and hope. And that, children, is what makes humanity stronger than anything in the galaxy. In the cold, dark reaches of space, humans had won, not through fear, not through destruction, but through courage, love, and unity. And the story of their bravery would be remembered forever. The galaxy had seen the human way, and no species would ever underestimate it again.